When it all comes down to it, that's it. It's the schedule and head-to-head, and that's why a lot of folks think that if you should stumble over the next 2 weeks, that it doesn't matter what Michigan does. I mean, do you have that philosophy in your mind here?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's so competitive that for us, we've always felt like, you've got to win every week. And so our focus has always been about taking care of business each and every week. And I don't know that we've ever had a goal that, hey, if we get one win, maybe we can get in. It's, you're playing for a national championship at Notre Dame. We don't have a conference to play for. So it's win every game you play.
Well, to me, I think that's a benefit that you don't have a conference to play for. That's an extra game where you put it all on the line for what, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's only one thought process for us, and that's to be one of the 4 teams to get in. And I think you have to always think about, playing, each and every game as if it's a playoff game. So I know that's the way our guys feel about playing Syracuse this weekend.
Do you feel any necessary no, I know you win, you're in. I get it. But do you still feel necessary to potentially lobby the crew that picks these Final Four in any way, shape, or form?
No, I don't think so. I think, from our perspective is that, we can't count on every year, what the other teams are going to be like. I mean, we put our schedule together knowing that we want to put together a competitive national schedule every single year. And, if you look at our schedule down the road every year, you look at it and go, oh, Florida State, and, you've got Michigan, and you've got USC and Stanford. That holds up, to the smell test relative to the kind of schedule you're playing. So we can't really worry about that. We just got to play them as we get them.
If you could change college football playoff, I know we've kind of discussed it before, but now that you're sitting there at 3, one of 3 undefeated teams, or UCF would raise their hand and say one of 4.
Right.
Do you like it? Do you think there should be more? We had Mike Leach on last week. He went off about a 64 team idea that he had, Coach.
Well, you could have a whole show with Mike, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. I think there's 5. There's 5 Power 5. When we talk about Power 5 conferences, it just doesn't. For me, the numbers don't seem to add up always, right? If let's say that it happens that Georgia wins, right? And now you've got 2 SEC schools in. We're going to win out. Notre Dame, that's, an independent. There's 3. Maybe there's only 2 of the Power 5 in the BCS championship. That doesn't make much sense to me, that 3 of the other Power 5s are left out. I think sooner or later you're going to want that all of the Power 5s get an opportunity to be in this. And to me, I'm not great in math. That's why I got into football coaching.
Nice.
You would seem to think 8 would be the right number. But every time we bring that up, we're met with, it's too many and we've already decided on this. But I just don't see how this can sustain it if you're only getting a couple of the Power 5 conferences into the BCS championship.
Now, it's obvious to me that it would be beneficial to a team that has 1 loss to have a conference championship game to perhaps improve their standing and get in by slaying a Goliath. You don't have that problem if you're undefeated, which is the issue for some of these undefeated teams. Do you see potentially you getting into a conference and joining it and giving up your independence at all?
It's always asked of us, and I just don't see that right now becomes a factor for us in terms of how it looks. I mean, the Big 12 could play themselves out with a conference championship because they both have, losses, and they may end up playing each other again, the same team. So it's so cyclical with the conference championships. It's not a guarantee. So I think if we play a competitive schedule like we have every single year, if we sit at the end of the year 12-0 and we don't get in, there's nothing that we can do about it. Maybe we'll be like Central Florida and we'll put up our own national championship banner. I mean, I really think that where we are, a conference championship or a conference doesn't do us any better.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.